plane, to another plane, to another plane, to another plane, bumping Baka not nice while I'm trapping in the rain.
Hello and welcome. This is Ezza Trips Balls. This is episode number 32.5. You know what I'm saying? We did an episode earlier this week, but unfortunately I had some technical difficulties and it did not fully record. However, we are back again. We are here once again with Johnny Armani.
Yes, sir.
Now, introduce yourself to the people a little bit, my man. Thank you for coming back once again. And, I have no issue having another conversation with you because we had fun chopping it up last time. So, yeah, what's good, man?
Not much, man. You know, it's your boy Johnny Armani, Jungle 103, plus Pray Hit Record Entertainment. Shout out Grove City. Shout out Grind City, You feel me? We here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I ain't got much to say right now. We here. I'm stunning, man.
Yeah, as we get closer and closer to the U.S. presidential election, it's cool to have the perspective of someone who, just fully moved here from America, from just across the border in Buffalo. So we had a lot of interesting conversations about that last time. Obviously politics is a major topic. We discussed a little bit about police brutality and things like that. So hopefully we can touch on some of those topics again without sort of having to completely repeat ourselves or try to remember exactly what we said. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it was a good conversation, so it kind of sucks losing it, but it is what it is.
It's organic. Let's talk about it, man.
Absolutely. So first of all, we'll start with music. You just came across to this side of the border and started going hard on the music scene. So that was luckily just before lockdowns really kicked in, about March, correct?
Yeah. I got my permanent residency in February, and then I was here by March. As soon as the border closed, it was like, all right, officially permanent resident. Can't go back across. They said you got to quarantine.
You're stuck.
It was stupid. I had a job still, and my job is essential in New York State. You feel me?
Oh, really?
I take care of autistic, clients or whatever.
Oh, good for you, man.
And
That's
I
amazing.
go to their house and I, help them with a living. So I had to tell them the border, my job is still essential in New York. So what am I supposed to do? They were like, yeah, you can go to work, but when you come back home the next day, you're going to have to quarantine for 14 days. So I'm like, damn, so I could just work every 15th day.
So
I just been here. That just gave me the time to grind.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad deal, right? So it's like at least you come here and you sort of lose an essential job that you had.
It's still waiting for me.
Well, that's good. That's good. But here you are. You get the opportunity to sort of grind with the music, and it seems to have picked up momentum pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, first it was like, all right, now I could be a full-time father, full-time, husband. So it was like I was here for that.
Wife and kids live here?
Yeah. So that was the whole reason why I'm here. That's what brought me to Canada. So it was like, besides that, though, in the meantime, in between time, I'm still an artist. I'm still going to do me. I've always done me. So it was like, and this is what I just got a passion to do. I already know this was going to get us out the mud. Because some people think I made it. They like, oh, you in Canada, you living good, you got a nice house, y'all own it. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But we still kind of struggling, so to say.
Yeah. It's and especially when it comes to making money off of music, as cool as it is to be able to travel to a new place and start doing music and have people who live here look at you as this foreigner who's now come and you know what I mean, and especially in the game of hip hop, to have somebody come from America is like, well, that's the motherland of hip hop. That's the birthplace, especially New York State as really the birthplace. So it's kind of cool for us to have people come on the scene like that, which kind of helps build your momentum and your buzz a little bit. And then, as you said, people back home are seeing you making moves in another country, and that stacks in your favor as well. So it's sort of a perfect storm for you to just take advantage of, in a sense, without really having to do too much.
Definitely.
And then at the same time, you're a family man, and you can do all of that as well. So yeah, man, it seems like a good situation.
That's how it's been.
Yeah,
exactly what you said.
and you connected with Culture Shock as well at a good time. So
I mean, shout out Culture Shock. Them boys been amazing for me, man. It's like I ain't even gotta ask them. I just like, yo, what's up? Just call them, go hang out with them. Next thing you know, they taking pictures and shit. It's like, okay. They sending me like 20, 30 pictures. They like, oh, let's shoot a video. And it's like, all right, cool. So it's like, then it just came off so organic too, in a sense, because it was like I was all for pushing the culture as well. And like I see, you feel me, the diamonds in the rough out here as well. And it's like it's slept on. It felt like being in Buffalo again.
Right.
But y'all ain't got no West Side gun. Y'all ain't got no Benny. You feel me?
No, we really don't.
You feel me? So it's like, not saying that I'm them or trying to be them, but it's like I'm trying to help just build the culture around here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I seen that that's what they were doing. So it was like, it's inevitable. You fuck with me, I'm gonna take you far, and we're gonna go far together.
Yeah.
If not, I'm gonna go far still. So it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Like no problems with anybody or any time for any of that. It's just I'm doing me and taking it as far as I possibly can. And anyone who fucks with me, I fuck with them too. And it's all love, you know. So it's been great to sort of get on Lonsley's show and sort of have the production lights, and you know what I mean. And you know, it's cool, man. It's polished nicely. So that's a big shout out, you know, to everyone involved there at the Upper Space for that.
Yeah,
And
actually,
that has a lot of potential there as well. So
I'm gonna shout out LG. LG show. That was like my first interview.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like honestly, like my first legit interview.
Wow. There you go.
It was like, there you go.
Straight to the lights, camera, action, man. Yeah, no, we're a little bit looser on Ezza Trips balls, that's for sure.
That's for sure. They got the mayor coming through there and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't had the mayor yet, but you never know, man.
Yeah,
we're pulling up on episode 40 soon. I mean, you never know what could happen. But
shit, we got Niagara Music Award winner right here.
yeah. Last year was a big year, and I feel like I've just continued the momentum from that.
How'd that feel?
Completely great, man. Very validating, and honestly was not expecting it at all, despite the fact that I've been doing this here for so long. You know, there's a lot of other talent here as well, and I had no reason to think that I would specifically be recognized. My crew was also nominated as a crew, Choom Gang, and we had done a lot of like live shows and performances as a group that year. So I was really thinking if either of us were going to win, it was going to be Choom Gang as a group that won.
Yeah.
And when I won as a solo artist, it was very validating for me that people want to hear more of what I've been doing with my solo work, because I wasn't sure if people wanted me to just focus on the other Choom Gang artists and sort of take more of a back seat, or if people were interested in hearing, you know, me just make my own music as a solo artist. And so it was very validating in that sense, and I've been able to sort of continue with that momentum while still trying to lift up, you know, the people who I do this with and have been doing this with as much as I possibly can as well. So it's been great where that respect and validation can get you. And I hope that you getting that nomination this year made you feel the same way.
Hold on, we're going to end that right there for them.
There you go.
They starting to get too late in there.
That was the first time that anyone's gone on live for Ezza Trips Balls. It's always pre-recorded. But the thing is, I don't edit anything other than just make it look pretty. So really, I could go live, but it is what it is. But yeah, so for you to move here and then get that nomination right away, how did that feel?
Man, I mean, that was a surprise too. Like you said, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I submitted it, but it's kind of like, not saying like when I submitted it, of course I expected it. I'm not going to submit my shit and I don't expect to be nominated. Like I wouldn't submit it if I didn't feel like it was worth
Right.
a nomination.
Right.
So it's like I'm not going. It's like going into the game trying to lose or expecting to lose.
What's
Like,
the
no,
point?
you
Yeah.
coming in here expecting to win every time. Like
Yeah.
when you playing ball, like you trying to win.
Yeah.
Even if you know the next person is Kevin Durant, Curry, and them, man, we bought the ball. Like, you feel me? You see how Toronto did it?
Yeah.
Shit happens. My man fucked his
Absolutely.
ankle up. Did a thud. They're like, oh, you want to call it? I mean, that's what happened. What shit happens?
The
Can't
stars
blame
line up,
us.
man.
We got ours.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And you know, and rap is even less competitive than basketball, you know, on a technical level. You know what I mean? You don't
I
have
guess.
it gets very competitive, but it doesn't necessarily have to be,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not like you're literally playing a sport. Like you just people just do different types of shit.
Yeah.
And then you might not, you don't have to like somebody's music, but you could still like share it or repost it and be like, yeah, this is somebody from where I'm from that does the same thing I do, you know?
Either that or it's just gonna be somebody from somewhere else that just got the same mind state or on that same time frame as you. And that's how I go.
I
That's why I
suppose with
like
the
music
internet,
now.
it doesn't matter that much
Yeah.
anymore, right?
It's a wave and an avenue for everybody.
Yeah.
Be you, find your market, and push it to them.
Yeah.
That's it. A lot of people not trying to find a market or they don't know how to find a market.
Right.
So that's it. That's really all you got to do.
It's a big, it's a ginormous part of it, right? Like, aside from obviously having the passion for the craft itself,
Yeah, that
wanting to
too.
do it, right? But like, you know, anybody could have that, right? A lot of people are talented. A lot of people have passion for their craft and stuff. It's a matter of who can turn it into something bigger and who's just gonna keep doing it, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Some people, they be in it for the wrong reasons. Some people want the instant fame.
Right.
Where they just be instantly famous or instantly rich and got all this money. Or some people want it just because they want to be rich. So it's like, if that's what you in it for, then you in it for the wrong reasons. And that's what you're going to kind of get back. It's either going to be like, you're going to get rich or you just going to be broke as hell.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know it could change my life. So it's not like I'm not oblivious to like, oh yeah, I could do this and be rich and change the rest of my family's life and shit like that. But I ain't really trying to take it completely to that level. Like, I'm gonna do the shit regardless because I love it. I got a passion for it. I've been doing it my whole life or whatever. But it's like, I know that all I really need is just a market, a little small avenue that I could control my own creativeness and pitch it. And if you get like at least 1,000 supporters, you good.
Yeah, man.
True supporters, like
That's
people that's gonna buy the merch, that's gonna buy the CD, that's gonna share it, comment, or whatever, give you feedback. You can have a list of the emails, contact, and address and everything. Every time something drop, I send it to you. They paying. Boom.
You don't have to be super famous anymore to make a living off of it. There's plenty of examples out there.
But that would make you famous if you had 1,000 true supporters, and then they
goes from there.
When they buy the shirt, they're gonna rep the shirt. They're gonna put it on their wall. They buy the Ezza Trip balls, they putting it on their wall.
Yeah.
They're gonna show it to their friends to where it's gonna grow. And then as you still not really exploiting it, but you just putting it out there for people to see, like, yeah, people like my stuff. It's gonna grow. You got 1,000 people that's sharing your shirts, taking pictures with your shirt on, or got your poster on the wall, or whatever it is that you're doing. Got your lighter, got your cup. You got true 1,000. It's gonna make everybody else, because it's a copycat world. It's gonna make everybody else be like, "Well, I don't have a," or "What's so special about Ezza Trip bars?" Let me see.
Yeah, that's how it goes, right?
Then they gonna like it or they don't. As long as they had that curiosity to be like, man, let me click that shit. Why everybody else? And then sometimes it's not for you.
And if it is, they're gonna show 5 more people probably. You know.
Cool. And if they know that it's for them, oh, you like this, that? Oh, you should watch that.
Yeah.
That's how it go. And it's just word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's how the brands go.
Yeah. Well, my friend Dice and I were talking about that this morning. It's just, and again, this is like part of the American mentality that's different from here. It's like we're not in a harsh free market where you need to constantly come up with ideas to stand out above the other million people that are trying to do the same thing. You know, like things come. We're used to being relatively comfortable here in a certain degree, whereas and it's a good thing, and don't want to be uncomfortable. But certainly when artists, rappers, musicians, whatever, are coming from harsher environments, there's more incentive to learn how to do some of this marketing and some of this business stuff and to come up with some of these ideas that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people have been successful at doing that because, like you said, if people fucks with it, they're going to show other people. If they don't, they're just going to look away and move on to the next thing, right? And that's how the market works, right? In Canada, it's like, you kind of have to have a cosign or kind of have to be put on by somebody because we don't have that same kind of drive and same kind of idea, which is why I embrace somebody like you coming within our community with some of these ideas on how to market yourself and so people can take example of that, because there's a lot of value there, right?
I be seeing it. Like, shout out Lil Nucci and them. They kind of got it, but I don't know what else they really do behind the scenes. But for the most part, they got the marketing a little bit.
They're good at the marketing, absolutely, the online stuff, and they're good at music. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of eventually you put enough into it, it's gonna click.
Yeah,
right?
You got to network too.
You got to network.
You got to be able to network too.
Yeah,
feel me?
Absolutely. So Networking is very important, and building relationships and all of that stuff, right? So it's kind of its own skill set. Aside from just being a musician, you kind of have to learn, and it takes years, unfortunately, for some people to learn. And for me, it took a long time. I didn't know how to network or build myself. I got lucky a lot in that I made friends with the right people, and I've always kind of been I'm a nice guy. I always kind of approach people with love and respect as much as possible, and that sort of leads to good things. But as far as like online networking and really taking advantage of some of these new systems that we have. And again, a lot of the Instagram, Twitter, this, that, or the other. I still barely use fucking Twitter. You know what I mean?
I never use Twitter.
Right? And so much of what is popular culture is happening on Twitter. Like a lot of it.
It's too complicated for me.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck Twitter. Right? I hate it. But it's like you're almost a nobody if you're not somebody on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like
most part.
Facebook and Instagram almost barely. Insta's actually pretty big.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, you good. Your Instagram busting, and you probably busting.
Instagram's great because it leads to a lot of marketing of other things.
Yeah,
right? It's like because you post photos, videos, whatever.
But it's all the same shit.
Wearing this product, endorsing this product. You know what I mean?
Like this shit is all owned by the same person, though. The same company.
Yeah.
So it all intertwines. That's why you can share everything on everything.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to go. But they just, I don't know, they dumb it down for certain. All right, this dumb down for them. This dumb down, like, you know how Facebook go. Facebook dumbed down. Now it's like you got to have mutuals and this, and that. You can't really see other people. And you know how it was going. Or you can't share it. You go live and you can't play music in the background. And it's like, damn, what the fuck is going on? They even took Google Play Music away from me. I tried to go play my music the other day. Where the fuck is my music at? They like, oh, there's no more Google Play. It's YouTube Music now. Now you got to pay for the subscription too. Like, what? To play the music that's in my phone?
Yeah.
Like the music that's in my phone. Like, I'm not trying to. That just had me, okay.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous and it's only going to get worse. You know what I mean? They ain't going to let go,
That's why I got to get this bread.
That's pretty much it, man. It's life or death, you know what I mean? It's pretty close anyway. It's there's gonna be very little middle ground anymore. And perhaps we can segue that into the conversation about the state of the union, man. I'm fucking know what the fuck's going on, man. This might be the last podcast that I drop before the election. So, yeah, let's get into predictions. There's a lot of crazy, all the polls are saying Biden's going to win for sure. But I remember that being the case in 2016 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I remember every poll, Hillary's going to win, Hillary's going to win, Hillary's going to win. And then that night I'm watching, I'm just like, this doesn't look like what I was hearing was going to happen.
Yeah.
But this time it really does seem like people are completely fed up, you know?
That's what you would think. I hope people fed up.
Yeah.
I hope people really voting Biden.
Yeah, I think Trump's going to get a lot of votes still.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be closer than people think it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot of quiet supporters too.
They ain't even quiet like that.
He's got a lot of loud ones, but he also has quiet ones. They don't even account for, man. Like people who care more about who's going to tax them more. You know what I mean? Like, well, Joe Biden's higher taxes. Like, well, I'm really not going to tell anybody, but I'm going to vote Trump to save my fucking pockets. You know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those people that don't come out and say that they're Trump supporters, but when they get in the booth, they're ticking next to the Republican.
I know some black people. Shout out my boys. They my boys. Like, not the guy personally, but you feel me? My boy T.O. out in Oklahoma City. His boys. Now, when you listen to him rap, they rap like almost conscious. They talk about like a lot of black empowerment, like how we need to take back and own shit and all this other stuff. But then you see them with rifles and they got Trump hats on. So it'd be like, I don't get it, but
that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. And I think that doesn't really get a whole lot of exposure, like in the media or anything.
Like, I'm not sure if they doing it for the clout.
Maybe that's the move. I don't know.
I don't know. Shit, that's the clout. Like, oh, who the fuck is these black niggas repping Trump? Go viral or something. I don't know. I know my man T.O. ain't on that. He just a different type of thinking ass nigga. Like, he definitely think different. But they woke. I know they woke.
Well, what do you think of the idea that the Democrats kind of keep black people in a position of oppression to get those votes? Because that's sort of a theory that I've heard from some of these black Trump supporters on the internet, is that the Democratic Party keeps black people in a system where they need welfare, they need this, that, or the other. It's beneficial to them to,
of course it is,
to keep black people oppressed as much as it is to the Republicans. Now, I don't see the alternative side. I don't see how the Republicans are any better. You know what I mean? But I get where the idea comes from, that the Democrats aren't necessarily great for the black community either, right?
That's why a lot of the black people for a long, long time didn't vote, or feel like we don't fucking care about voting.
Because both sides are fucked.
Yeah, who you voting for? Like, the devil or his son?
Yeah.
Which one you want?
Yeah.
They both the fucking devil. Like, they both from hell.
Yeah.
So, and they both against you. The whole shit is against you. So it goes further than just the president, than just the mayor, just the senator. Unless we can vote every single person, like, everything just be, I guess, black, and that don't even work. You can't even say that. So I don't know what to do, because it ain't about just being like, it's not even a black and white thing. It is, but it's not.
Yeah.
Because a lot of black people, they oppose of everything. I mean, they go with what they say. A lot of black people, they hate niggas. That's what we say. I hate niggas. I hate these black niggas. Fuck the black niggas. We just as racist against ourselves. You feel me? I swear to God. And they be like, that's why I hate niggas. That's why I can't be around niggas. And then we get around here, and then we get around the white people. I don't like the white people. So it's like, damn, you just don't like the world then. You just don't like nobody. Then, you feel me?
Yeah.
And then people coming around, you start throwing stereotypes in the air or something. Can't understand them and shit. So it's like, it's all kind of disconnect. Everywhere you go, you can't live life like that. That was never me. I kind of had that mindset, that mentality a little bit, like growing up in the hood and shit. That's just kind of what you think. Because like Buffalo, mad segregated. So for a long time, just grew with black people. You never really seen white people.
Right.
Like for a long time. I seen teachers in school. That was it. No lie. But when I go home, I don't see white people.
Right.
You feel me? That type of stuff. Or when we drive around the neighborhood, or we go to like downtown, then you would see it. But then we moved to the west side, and you would see like Spanish people. And they was more connected with us, because on the west, you have black people that lived over there a little bit, but we lived in the low income stuff, and that's where they live. So
you related in that way.
yeah, so and I guess they always be like Puerto Ricans is black or Spanish is black, or yeah, like Puerto Rican is black and Dominican is black. But then it'd be like sometime like all right, so 2-3 years ago they were saying that all over social media.
Right, because there's African roots in those countries.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like that was the pit stops for the slaves and
Right.
shit. So that's why a lot of them got color and shit like that, especially the Dominicans, because they split the island with Haiti. So half of the island is Dominican Republic and the other half of the island is Haiti.
Right. So you got half the island that is Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
And then half the island that is French speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And then on half the island they're black and half the island they look more Latino, but they got color. Yeah.
But they dark. They look like me.
Right.
A lot of people be like, "Oh, you Dominicano?" No.
Right. Got you.
Papi.
Yeah. No, papi.
Get to New York City, man, it gets real. Or even in school, like when I used to go to grammar school, 5th grade, that's when we moved to the west side or whatever. Now, was it 5th or 6th? Whatever. Sitting in class, they come up to me and start speaking Spanish, but I go to a bilingual school. So It was like, it just made sense. Everybody in there was Spanish. The teachers were Spanish. Like everybody was Spanish down there. There was a few black people, a few white people, but everybody was Spanish.
Huh. Okay.
So, that type of stuff.
And all of that is built into the system, which I think is people are trying to now get out of, right? But I think, you're saying it's a lot of people grow up because of segregation, not only in Buffalo, but a lot of places, in America, you're going to go and only see one race. A lot of this shit's just on the internet and also built into a grander system. You know what I mean? Like you're saying that you never really had to deal with white people. You know what I mean? So where was the room for there to be white versus black shit in an all black neighborhood or in an all white neighborhood?
But I did,
it's in the way the whole thing is built.
Yeah, but when you see them, it'd be like the cops or the people on the bus or the people at school, the teachers and shit.
Yeah.
So, but besides that, for me, it was kind of slightly different. Because by the time I was 10, we moved to North Buffalo, which is a predominantly middle-class white neighborhood. That's all Italians for the most part. A lot of Italians. So it was very different. And I be me. I dress how I dress. I walk down the street. I walk around. They looking at us like, oh my God, who's these kids? Then the one kid, just normal being kids, the kid tried to fight me or whatever. He wanted to fight, so I beat him up. Now they coming at me like I'm the bad guy. Like, oh, you came over here and you caused trouble and and it's like, this dude stormed me. He pushed the little girl. I pushed him. It was like, okay. And I'm like, he pushed the little girl and was like, he's about to fight the little girl. He bigger than me.
How old were you at this point?
I was like 11. For real. Spanked him up real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Come back, they knocking at the door. Him and his mom. He crying. Man, get out of here, man. Come on. But I'm just luckily, like, that was kind of like it became a friend and stuff. You know how that go. But luckily, they ain't call the cops. That's all it took right then and there. I assaulted him and and then all it took was them to say that. It stick to their story. I'd have been in juvie somewhere for beating little dude up.
It's fucked up.
When he was trying to attack he was trying to be a bully. He always was trying to beat up or push on the little kids. So I'm like, hold on, bro, chill. I don't know. That's how I go though. But being over there saved my life though. But it taught me how to like interact with different people.
Right. That's an important skill a lot of people don't get.
Yeah. And then like before that, like I said, we lived on the west side. So it was like being on the west side too and being around Spanish people. And then it was a few like African people, whatever, like straight from Africa and stuff, Nigeria and all of that.
Right. It kind of immigrants.
Yeah. They gave me more of the ability just to interact with anybody. Because a lot of times you can't understand them or they probably don't speak English or like their mom and them don't, but the kids do. So you just around it and they teaching you Spanish and stuff like that. Like that's how I learned Spanish.
Yeah, growing up in Canada, depending where you're from in Canada, of course, but a lot of Ontario is similar to that because there's just so much immigration here that you grow up around everybody. You know, there are people that are weirdly racist or whatever. But again, like that shit comes from either their parents or from the internet or whatever. Like you can't really be racist in real life in Canada. Like where are you gonna get your groceries? Where are you gonna? You can't. You know what I mean?
Or just be the unknown.
You can't get through anywhere.
It'd be like the exposure, like you said. If you just around a certain people all the time, you don't really know nothing about other people, like you said, it's because of the internet or just stereotypes or what you may have heard or what other people say about those people.
Exactly.
So then when you actually meet them and you like, oh, this guy's a nice guy, he's cool. Like that's probably my best person I've ever met.
Yeah. You don't expect that, right? And that's, you know, and that's what I mean when I say like that segregation being built into the system.
It's just society.
Is what causes a lot of fucking racism.
It's society. The whole world, I think, is like that. I think it just got built. I don't know how it started, but it just kind of built in us as humans. It's just kind of natural now. When you see a person, you kind of in your mind, your conscience start saying stuff already about that person.
That's true.
Automatically. I don't get it, but it's like you even got to say nothing out your mouth, but your mind just automatically start speaking.
And it's got to be like an evolution thing or something. Just from needing to survive in the wild or some shit. Like we needed to develop the ability to like prejudge things just in case we need to get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Like that's you know, that's a bear. It's gonna fuck me up. I'm gonna get the fuck out of there. Doesn't really matter whether it's actually a nice bear that just would rather eat berries or whatever. You know that bears will fuck you up. You get the fuck out of there, you know? So it's like, but you can't apply that mentality to other people in this day and age without there being some nuance. And I think that's a problem with a lot of police is that they just look at civilians, not even necessarily a race thing. They just look at civilians are one team and police are the other team. They don't understand what it's like to be a cop, blah, 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 blah.
We like a brotherhood. We're trained. Mm-hmm. That's why we are like this, because we were trained like this. For real, we were trained.
There's been no
every day. Out. TV, every day. It's being fed to you like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's being fed to you. How else is it?
School is the same thing.
School, everywhere. It's being fed to you. So I don't know how else you're going to accept it or escape it. It's about just accepting it. And I guess a lot of people nowadays, the world just becoming a lot more, I guess, wiser, or just a lot of people more open-minded to stuff.
Right.
They're more like, I don't really believe that. Like, that's how I feel like that was my favorite subject in school, social studies and history. Right. But then once I started learning that the shit was some bullshit, I was like, fuck, they done took that away from me. I don't know what because I mean, I like math, but I wasn't no mathematician or no shit. So it was like, besides that, I like social studies and English just because I write. So but English class, I used to F off in English class too, man. Hey, I thank God for McKinley. They passed me for no reason. They're like, we don't want you to be another statistic, little young man. Get up out of here.
Oh, that's good.
That's for real, because I was never at school. By the end of it, I was never there. Never there. That's why I failed the one. I was supposed to have a sheet metal background, a little trade on my diploma. Nope, failed that.
Yeah, the education system's a big motherfucking problem. To me, that's the biggest problem.
And where it all came down
to, you'll be all right. You know what I mean?
What it all came down to was he was my teacher, Thomas Pace, Mr. Pace. He was like, I want you to write it's like an 8 to 10 page essay about something. I was like, oh man, I'll start trying. But then I just gave up by the end. It was over. He's like, if you do that, I'll pass you. And I'm like, man, you could have made it a little something like more hands-on. Because in that class, I was doing hands-on stuff. We was making ducts and stuff for the walls and, vents and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sheet metal, welding and stuff like that.
Right.
So, I don't know, but that's kind of how it be. And these teachers be feeling like they had control. They could fuck your future up just like that.
Yeah, they become an authority figure.
Boom.
Yeah.
Just because they don't like you or some shit. I know I was a little dickhead at the time, I guess, too.
Right.
Skipping class. I'm not showing up.
Yeah.
So they like, yo, what you doing?
But the way that the whole thing is even built is kind of like a prison. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta, you sit down when they tell you to sit down. You go outside when they tell you to go outside. You eat when they tell you to eat.
Yeah.
It kind of like, even if they have the best intentions, like you're already going against the nature of children by making them like kind of have that intense of a structure.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have kids that are dickheads right off the bat.
And you
so if
gotta
you don't know
learn.
how to work with that, then why are you a teacher? Why are you like, because you're already in a flawed system as it is. So if you can't work within that to still help the kids who are hurt by that system, what are you doing?
Then a lot of them kids like me, they like single parent homes. You feel me? Going through a lot at home or whatever. So it was like half the time when you get to school, that's why they are wilding and acting out.
What do you expect from
You
these
feel me?
kids, right?
Yeah. So that's why I was thanking God, like when I had moved to North Buff, because it was just kind of a blessing for me. I had it bad a little bit, but I wasn't as bad as other people.
Yes.
So and that's what always kept me in my mind state, even like how I am now. Like, you feel me? I ain't super up, but I ain't at the bottom. You feel me? So
yeah,
it just kind of was like it could always be worse.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
And again, it's a good thing that you were blessed with the opportunity to sort of get out of the situation, before you got too deep into things, right? Not everybody gets that opportunity. So when you got beat up by the cops in your own house at 15.
Oh yeah.
Now you say you were living in kind of the middle class neighborhood at like 11. So was this in the middle class neighborhood in North Buffalo that you got beat up by the cops? Because that doesn't sound like something that would happen around there.
Nah, it wasn't over there. I was back in the hood. I was on the east side, on Colorado. Man, you tell the cops, I swear you probably can call today. 96 Colorado Street. They gonna pull up deep as fuck. I swear to God, every time they come deep. But it was some bullshit. They try to say that we robbed this white guy. That it never happened. He owed my uncle some money. My uncle was beating him up outside. We broke it up, told the dude to get out of here. Eventually, he pulled off and called the cops. And then they came straight to our house because he was dropping my uncle off from work or whatever. So they came, kicked our door in, kicked the door right in. And came upstairs, told me to get the fuck down. Then he was like, all right, go downstairs. So I'm like, okay. As I was going down the stairs or went to walk past the dude and stepped over the laundry basket that was right there, he pushes me off to me as I'm like stepping over. He pushed me. So I fell to the ground. Get up, like, yo, what the fuck? What you pushing me for? Like, shut the fuck up. Keep it moving. All right, cool, whatever. So I get to the stairs. As I go to take my first step down the stairs, I get pushed down the stairs. So now I'm stumbling down the stairs.
Oh my!
I get down, hit the wall.
So fucked up, man.
Hit the
and
wall.
You're innocent.
Yeah, I ain't did shit. Like I was standing on the porch watching them break everything up and shit.
Yeah.
I was young.
15.
You feel me?
They push a 15-year-old down the stairs.
And my uncle, he like 32 at the time. My older cousins, they like 20-something. They like old heads. So, you feel me? I just came out like, oh, you feel me? Watching little young nigga. Like,
yeah.
Shit, you boys get to it. But all they was just breaking shit up. They just telling them like, yo, chill, da-da-da-da. Whatever, long story short, he tried to push me down the stairs. I caught my balance and looked up, and he coming at me with his billy club like this, trying to hit me. So I moved like this into the joint and try to go down those stairs. He goes into the wall. Now his arm is in the wall like this. So he like, fuck, he hit me. As I'm going down the stairs, and then it was like 6, 7 more cops came. What? He hit you? And it was over. Then he came down, tried to stump me or whatever. Get the fuck up.
I mean, just pushing you down the stairs alone could have killed you, a 15-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Or could have seriously hurt.
There was a window right there. Like literally, it's like coming down these stairs and it's a window right there. So I could have went through the window. Honestly, just went straight through the window.
And then to fuck you up like that, like what is the desire that these people have to hurt a 15-year-old kid?
It's just fun.
Just a night, just a night at work.
Yeah, with that little nigga ass.
And that there's no documentation of that. There's no footage of that.
Nope. It was
Nobody knows that happened. That's in your own house.
Yeah, it was like they didn't leave no bruises. So because they didn't leave bruises, my mom didn't feel compelled to try to press charges because there was no real physical evidence.
Right, and it would have
Which
just made
that
your
shit
lives
it just
worse.
kind of blew my mind
Trying to
though. It
fight
just
that
still
fight.
blew my mind. It was like, what you mean? Like, nah, these motherfuckers beat me up. Like
Yeah.
my ribs and shit was hurting and shit. Like,
There's no excuse, right?
like you feel me? Like I'm in pain.
Yeah.
And it's like all I gotta do is sit there and my mom telling me we not gonna do nothing about it.
Well, that's got to be the worst.
Then they had my cousins in jail, my godbrother in jail. So it was like we know they got paperwork, so we know who arrested who. We got names.
Damn. So do you still feel like your mother should have fought that fight, or do you understand now that you're older?
I guess, but I kind of get it and I don't.
Right.
Because like at the end of the day, it's still a fight that needs to be fought.
If that happened to your child,
hell yeah,
you can't imagine not fighting that fight.
Yeah, fuck that. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
And it was like, so I get back to the crib, my brothers, because they was upstairs in the room. They were younger than me. They were probably like 7 and 6 or some shit like that at the time. But my little brother 5 years younger than me, so he was 10 and the other one was 7. But they all laughing. Oh, you was down there screaming, crying. He was whooping your ass.
That's crazy.
So everybody know the cops whooped my ass. They were there when the shit happened. You feel me? There's a lot of us that lived in that house. And
it's crazy that that's how normal it is.
Yeah, and they like, oh shit. And then we bring it up. We was all sitting here, they start laughing. Hell yeah, they whooped that nigga ass. That nigga was down there screaming, saying sorry. Because eventually I'm like, yo, get off me. But you feel me? They start fucking me up. I'm a little kid. It's like, you feel me?
You're gonna say whatever you gotta say.
To like get off me. Yeah.
That's unbelievable, man. And then people say that there's no issue.
They make it worse, so they put me in the back of the car and shut up my boy Face. Face the barber from Buffalo, whatever. He was a rapper too at the time. Man, he missing a tooth, the front tooth. But the story was, he even made a song about it. This is how I knew the story about it, because he made a song. And he was like, it was after what's called the Turkey Bowl. You do the Turkey Bowl is every Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, the Buffalo public schools, they have a high school basically battle. Like that's the championship. That's the championship. But sad to say, that's the furthest that you can go in Buffalo public schools.
Really?
So like my school, we won that shit. Well, we went 4 times in a row. We won it 3 in a row. So my freshman year, we lost it. But then after that, we won it those last 3 years.
Right.
Don't you think we supposed to go to states like New York State finals, New York State regionals? Nothing. That's it. That's all you go to.
That's crazy.
Real talk. It was like 2009, they switched it. That was like the year after I graduated.
Is Buffalo the next biggest city in New York State? Yeah,
it is.
It's the Queen City, right?
But like you got Olean or something like, or Williamsville and Cheektowaga. That's like literally for real. Those schools, they can go to regionals.
That's fucked.
St. Joe's, they can go to regionals. And that school is in Buffalo, but it's a different type of school. It's a whatever. Catholic school.
Okay.
So they in a different region or whatever.
Or a
they
different school board, whatever.
But now they switched it up to where now they integrated it to where Olean and all of them, they integrated the Buffalo public schools. So now they placed in regions with the other schools. So now they can compete against them, and if they win, they get to go whatever.
Well, yeah, it's fucked up that it's like this is your ceiling.
Yeah, so it was like
as high as you could go.
Real talk, mad disrespect. So I know a lot of people that's like nice as hell with the football, basketball. Basketball, you can go. Like basketball, you can go to regionals. You can do all of that. But football, no. Not at all.
That's fucked.
But long story short, he was leaving the game. And usually after that game, it's a lot of like fights and shit. You know, it's high school. So it'd be a fight after the game. So it was a big ass fight. He gets pulled over. They put him in the back of the car, take him to a parking lot. He's sitting there with the handcuffs on his hands. Now, he's a teenager at this time. He's in high school. You feel me? You want to go home or you want to go to jail on some movie shit? He like,
yeah, that's literally training day.
Real talk. This is what he said. He said they said that shit to him. Jeez. You want to go home or you want to go to jail?
Oh,
and he said, I want to go home. What are you talking about? And he dude turned and hit him with the billy club right in his face, knocked his tooth out. And he had to come home and tell his mom what happened and shit.
Damn.
He knew the cop name. He had a song. I gotta hit him up. Ask him if he still got that song. Somebody got it because they were selling so many tapes in Buffalo. Like they was mad popular. Fab Pro. Somebody got that tape somewhere, that CD. But he put the cop name in there and everything. And it was like, but damn, bro, you never pressed charges, you never got, and you got physical. Look at your face, bro. That's how he got his name face.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn.
God damn.
But he was in the back seat of the car. You know what the cop told me was like, shut the fuck up before I do your face like your man right there. Real talk. And then he was sitting there and he was like, yeah, just shut up, bro. Just shut up. And he in handcuffs too. They about to take him to jail too. Like, yeah, he's like, just shut up, bro. Just shut up, bro. It's all good. I'm like, some bullshit.
That's the Buffalo police, man. Aren't they the same motherfuckers that knocked out that old man?
Yo, during the riots.
Man, that was like one of the worst things I saw, man.
77-year-old white man. So that just let you know they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a flying fuck, man.
Who you are.
And the other, the coldest part was the way the rest of them just kept walking, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to try to help this 70-year-old
The guy
man.
who did it, you could tell he kind of froze for a minute and was like, oh, shit.
I might get in trouble or something.
Just feeling bad, not even getting in trouble. Just feeling bad for the old man. You feel me?
That's what I would hope, but
that's how his face was looking. Like his body expression was like oh shit.
Right.
The other cop grabbed him and like yoinked him up and start pushing him that way.
Keep going.
Yeah, nigga, focus. Keep going. We got a crowd to detain.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's just brutal, man. It's brutal.
That's why I thank God like I wasn't really there, because I probably would have been compelled to be in the streets. You feel me? Out there protesting and shit too. Cause like the one girl, she got hit with tear gas and she got shot with rubber bullet or some shit. She had like a bullet in her forehead, or she got shot with a bullet. But she had a daughter, her 5-year-old daughter, on her shoulders.
Wow. And got
still
hit
shot
in the
her.
face with a rubber bullet.
And still, I don't think she was the one that got hit in the face, but she damn sure still got shot, and she got hit with the tear gas. The little baby was fucked up too for a minute.
And it's like, what is a mother with a baby going to do to harm anybody? Why do you need to use any sort of force?
Yeah. And she had basically a sign like, protect our children, blah, 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 that type of shit. But like in her time, like I respect it, but I wouldn't have my kid out there. We already know what's going on. It's riots. And
That's
you see on TV, the shit's getting violent everywhere around the world. So, I mean, everywhere in the country is violent as hell. So
yeah, I'm
not bringing my kid out here.
No.
I don't care. Like if I ain't got no babysitter or somebody to watch the kid for me while I go do this, nah. You're just not gonna be able to protest. I'll be online.
I'll say what I gotta say online, like everybody else.
Fuck it. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'll make a song.
Yeah, do something. Right?
I still feel bad I ain't make a song yet, but I kind of got a song that talk about it a little bit, just like, you feel me, like in slavery and all of that shit, and how like we kind of really don't know ourselves. Mm-hmm. And that's like kind of what we all stuck trying to find, just ourselves.
Yes.
But I don't know. I just kind of feel bad. Like I ain't make no song about none of this shit. Because I keep rapping. I'm making songs about everything else. All the rest of this bullshit.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. It's like everybody, I'm sure, nobody really did. You know what I mean? Like as far as like famous, it's like, it's almost an issue that's too big for one person to be like, yeah, I'm gonna make the song.
But
about this,
but you remember when who the fuck did that? It's like Michael Jackson. It was like a bunch of like Whitney Houston.
Oh, like we are the world.
Yeah, that we are. Remember they all came together and shit. Like you feel me? And they all came together and made this one big nice hit. That's all it takes.
Where's the 2020 version?
Where the 2020 joint at? Like
yeah.
You feel me? That's real easy.
Lil Yachty would be up in there and shit.
Real talk. Whoever. You can put the trap on there, the mumbo.
We got Migos in there.
Migos. Hey.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Ad libs and shit. It would be lit. It would be seriously. It would be a banger.
But we still talking about peace, unity, coming together, everybody for each other type shit.
Yeah. We need We Are the World 2020, man.
That's a fact.
Save everything, man. God damn. Well, let's hope that shit doesn't get too crazy. I mean, no matter what happens in this election, it's going to be chaos afterward, right? There's like almost no scenario where things are just going to go smoothly. You know what I'm saying? If Trump wins, there's going to just be nonstop chaos of, the election being contested. How the fuck did this
Probably gonna be
motherfucker
more
win?
raids.
Yeah, there'll be some more riots.
You might see the first time where the American government get overtaken.
Yeah.
For real. Because I think people fed up, and a lot of people like especially down south, they're armed. They don't care. Like a lot of them, a couple of the protesters down there, it was like all black people, and they all had the right to bear arms, and they all had licenses,
Right.
and they all out there with their guns,
Mm.
marching. Like y'all not about to do nothing to us or our people.
Yeah, and that's what should have. That's good. I mean, I my dad's a liberal guy, and he's always said he's like black people in the States should get their legal fucking right and just go and just arm themselves.
But they set us all up from the jump. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like when you first come out, you in a bad situation from the jump. It's drugs and poverty all around you. So like, you feel me? For the most part, you don't have to go into it. Like I ain't really get into deep in selling drugs. I just sold weed. But like I could have easily picked up a crack rock and start selling that motherfucker. I was in the crack house all the time, like at a point in my life.
Nothing, right?
But it was just there. Even to this day, it would still be damn near compelling to just fucking go get a joint and let's
quick
go.
Little come up.
Real
right?
talk, man. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. When you see that, and that's what you see as the come ups, ain't nobody teaching you to go get no credit or to go, you feel me, make sure your credit score is up, put some not loans, but what I want to say, the little bonds and shit.
Yeah, get
shit stocks together. And shit.
Yeah. Even as far as just getting a legal gun, like I think that would just be so like, because it's just not they all these fucking white people that want to be pro gun or whatever, but want to be racist at the same time. Like, what would they say if a bunch of black people, like I said, which they are currently, marching down the streets with their fucking right to bear arms and their right to open carry? Like, now are you so for those fucking gun rights now all of a sudden?
The difference is the niggas is strapped regardless.
yeah, which I don't blame them for.
That's the whole problem, though.
But you're living in a country with more guns than people. What do? You're living in an area where it's you and your family, and you need to protect your family because your house could get robbed any night. Anything could happen at any time, right? So it's like it's very, my whole life in Canada, I've always been like anti-gun. Because that's our stance up here. It's like, why does everybody need a gun? Like, that's not freedom. Like, freedom should mean you don't need a gun, right?
I never personally like owned a gun.
But now, yeah, and that's good.
You feel me? Like, I felt a few times that I may have, like, this shit is real out here. Like, you feel me? You damn sure need a gun. I tell you that shit all the time. But it's like, for the most part, if you're not really in it, then you damn near good.
Yeah.
Like, you feel me? Like, I wasn't really too involved. If it wasn't about hustling or trying to sell some weed or give some money real quick, I ain't got time for none of the rest of that shit.
Yeah.
So you feel me? I ain't with no sets. None of that. Like, I'm from the Springs, but I'm from the jungle. And a lot of motherfuckers don't really even damn near know what the jungle is.
Right.
They be like, what's the jungle? Then I'll be like, yeah, it's Woodlawn, Cold Spring. Oh, okay, cool. But half the time it was like, for me, I just was a chill nigga out the way. I be in the hood, though. You step outside my door, it's 15 niggas just right there on the corner on Burt every day. I be sitting there on my porch, chilling, blow my dope. Nothing. I'll go chill with them niggas, too. But it really wasn't like I wasn't involved in nobody else's drama. So that's
huge.
That be what the problem be. A lot of people, they just want to just go ride or just do shit. Just to do it.
Yeah.
For what, though? It'd be stupid.
Yeah.
Just to do it. Then look at them. They be stuck in those predicaments. They be fucked with these felonies and shit like that. And a lot of times people just doing it just to do it. Just to say they do it. You feel me?
Yeah, so that's huge now, especially.
Definitely now, everything is just for the clout. It's just to say, oh yeah, I do that. I really shot niggas. I really sell work. I really, whatever it is, I guess. Yeah, I really do that shit.
Yeah, it's a LARPing. It's a live action role play. It's like people that are are going into the real world playing a role that they know that they can be like, this is going to, if I actually do this and I can prove that I actually do this and say I actually do it. It's the 6ix9ine shit, right? He never actually did no gang shit until he fucking put himself in that role where it's like, now I'm actually here, and nobody can say that he didn't. You know what I mean? Nobody can say he wasn't involved in robberies and fucking putting hits on people and all sorts, and guns and selling all sorts of drugs.
See, me,
and he was
like
involved.
what I do when I talk about it though,
But that wasn't really him.
Yeah, I talk about it because that's what I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you feel me? So all my niggas, like my whole family, they all gangsters. So it was like, that's just what I grew up around.
Right.
My whole family, gangsters. It's like, that was it. When I rep jungle shit, they real life gangsters. Like, these niggas went to jail, out of jail. They were the ones that kept me out the shit. Because for the most part, everybody else was just fucking up. And they started telling me like, oh, you ain't no real jungle nigga. You ain't no Frazier. Because I never sold crack. I never been in jail. And I never fucked just one bitch that everybody in the family fucked. It's like, oh, all the jungle niggas fucked her. That's guaranteed. Like, okay, I'm good though. Like, I probably could have. She was on my dick too at a certain time. But it was like, still, that don't make me what? Okay. But now, you feel me? I always continue to put on. But then when I start trying to like be out there, be at the crack house, I had my little weed pack and shit like that. I never wanted to sell crack because my grandma was smoking it. And there was times where I see her on the corner and she don't even know me. She just talking to me like I'm just some random little light skin. Hey, light skin, saying stupid shit. And I'm like, hold on, grandma. Like, grandma, it's Johnny. And she looking at me. Oh, boy. You just doing that. Like, this my grandma. So it's like, I ain't never, like, crack. I hated crack. I damn near hated niggas that sold crack. Man, you feel me? Because they damn near said it to my grandma. Like, what's up, nigga?
Somebody did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that type of shit. So I just sold my weed. But that was hard because I smoke weed. So he's like, you damn near can't sell what you smoke.
Yeah, I could never sell weed. I tried a couple times. It didn't go very well.
Then they'd just hit me and they'd be like, why you over here? Why you at the crack house? Cuz these niggas pulling up out of nowhere. You feel me? But that was because my cousins was doing that shit. And I just wanted to chill with them type shit. Like, I was being around. And then I had my pack too. All these niggas smoke weed, cuz.
That's what I always thought, like, all those guys smoke weed, so somebody's got to be selling them weed.
Yeah, so I was telling them, like, man, shit, and I'm the only nigga with the weed right over here. He's like, I feel you, cuz, but you had to and this shit hot. And it was hot plenty of times. The cop would pull up in the plaza. It's over. You see him in the plaza, they about to come down the street. And then that was it. And then niggas better start making moves, do whatever you got to do. Right. A couple times, man, was blessed. Just start walking away. They pull right up. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm walking through the cut, me and cuz. Calmly, just walking, like, fuck it. I got an ounce here, 2 ounces in my pocket. I got an ounce bagged up right here inside the joint. Like, I'm being stupid as hell. Got like a quarter pound on me for no reason. Just standing out here on a crack block. That's why they slapping me in the head. Like, nigga, what's wrong with you? Cuz you out here. Like, man, shit, you never know. The nigga just hit me yesterday out here, man. He wanted an ounce, man. I had the ounce way uptown. How I'm supposed to get uptown? Like, nigga, man. Yo, cuz, listen, cuz. Like, you supposed to be at the studio somewhere, man. You nice as hell with this music shit, man. Do this music shit, cuz. Go to school, cuz. What, you need some money, man? Give me some money or some shit. Tell me to go home and shit like that. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah. Yo, cuz, that shit clear. Real talk, but
that's how it is, man. But I mean, that's good for you that you found a way to, you know, be a part of your cousins, your community, this, that, or the other, without getting too involved in stuff that put your life in danger.
Like I said, moving with my aunt. So it was kind of back and forth all the time. So It was like kind of like when shit would get deep or it just get too rough, and then I just had to escape all the time, I guess. I just run over there, and then I'm back in the north, hiding away. I'm not in no trouble. I just do whatever. Like, I go to school, be good and shit. I start going to church, start believing in God a lot more. So I'll go to church and got weed on me. Same way. Like, not all that kind of weed, but it'll be times where I'll be sitting there at my cousin's house and shit, like, mad weed on me. I'm not about to leave it there because I'm about to come back there or whatever, but I leave my shit here.
Leave that in the house.
No. And it was only one nigga I could trust. And then niggas was stealing from him too at times. So it was like, it was just too much. So it was like, I go to church and got weed all in my pockets, just sitting there chilling, participating. Everybody at church loved me and shit. I used to try to call me pastor because I was good with my voice. I had a big projector, my voice project. And then I always was like reading and shit. So I will always read the scriptures and stuff like that. And it was interesting to me. It was learning something. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm blessed now.
And I still think weed and God are connected, man. There shouldn't be a separation there in the first
All right.
place.
So you ever heard of Shiva Ratari?
No.
Or it's the god. It's an Indian god or a Hindu god, Shiva.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, I guess I was reading something online. I'm not sure how true it is, but I was talking to some Indian people at the job too, and they were saying like, yeah, it's true.
Okay.
But Shiva was gifted marijuana from another god to as a gift to the earth, because you know, as gods, people give you gifts. So she was gifted, or he was gifted, whoever it is. It's like a big debate whether it's a man or a female as well.
Okay.
But
It's a God.
it's a god, and that person was gifted weed. So in India, it's basically like 420. They got like these high priests, and they out there just smoking weed all day, all day. So he was like, you can smoke it as long as you don't call it weed. If you call it weed, you go to jail.
Wow.
What you got smoke? Bomb.
And that's the religious
That's the
version
term.
of it.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, you smoke bomb. And you're like, all day, you just freely smoke in the streets, whatever, just smoke. And it's like big festivals and it get lit.
Damn.
It's like 420. And I'm like, okay.
That's crazy.
I love India.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to fucking go experience that.
So I start asking people, and they're like, how do you know about that? How do you know about that? And I'm like, shit, I don't know. I just YouTube.
There you go. Well, that's interesting, man, how different cultures look at shit, right? But I think that, I think the juxtaposition of you going to church with pockets full of weed is just a great image. You know what I mean? It's like, that's like says a lot about who you are as a person. And I think that having both sides is an important thing in life, you know? Like, I think that a lot of people only experience either the one life or the other, right? Like, I think that you having the the fact that you were able to move back and forth the way you did and expose you to both sides in a way kind of saved you, right?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. And then moving to Miami. It's about the time I was
Whole other story.
Yeah, by the time I was 19, and it was like, all right, nigga, fuck you. You still gonna keep fucking up? I done went to school. I went to college. I took the college money, and what I do? Bought more weed. Now I got pounds and shit, so now it's lit. But besides that, I was just fucking up. And then, like, my mom just came to me one day. Was like, you want to move to Miami with your cousins? You ain't doing nothing here anyway. I'm like, well, fuck it. Why not? Who don't want to move to Miami? I'm 19. Let's go.
That's the perfect time.
Real talk.
Yeah. Nice weather.
But then as soon as that happened, my cousins that I was chilling with at the crack spots, go to jail, selling crack. You feel me? Like, just a couple months before that, like a couple months before that, he was fucking around pulling up on me. Thousands. Come back 10,000. Come back 6,000. Just flexing, renting cars. We driving the cars around and shit like that. Riding. And we was doing mad crazy stuff. And this nigga, like, I was mad compelled. Like, I'm like, damn near, like, man, fuck it, bro. Take me with you. Take me with you, nigga. 2 months and I come back with 10,000. That's all I need. Right? That's it. It's good. Tempting. Just one time.
Yeah.
I just need 2 months.
That's it. One time.
2 months, and I'm about to take this 10 bands and put the shit in the music, and we about to pop, bro.
That's what a lot of people do. And it works for some people.
Yeah, that's what I was telling them. But
yep.
Last couple of times he started coming back, shit was short. Niggas was stealing. A couple people tried to rob him or some shit, and then he got knocked. And that was as soon as I went to Miami. He started looking for L, looking for Ego in jail. Like, wow. Oh, shit. Damn. Then it was like my cousin Trail. He got knocked for some other shit, but same way. That's who I was chilling with every day too at that point in time. He went to jail. Boom. It's like, damn. I'm like, this shit is weird. Like, this shit is mad weird. And they're like, yeah, you see, you're supposed to be there. That's why you get out. I told you, get away from me.
Good timing, man.
Yeah. And then I just went there and started doing more stupid shit.
Yeah, well, it's Miami.
Yeah.
It's Miami.
Nah, it was cool at first. I was doing good.
Yeah.
I was doing good. Had a job, had a girlfriend.
How long did you stay there?
It was a year, year and a half.
You can't legally drink there then. I was thinking Canadian age at first, but yeah.
But nah, you can get in the club though. They had mad like 18 and up clubs. So I was going to like different clubs and different shit. And then my cousins and them, they'd get me in a lot of spots. And everything down there was pretty much 18 and up.
Damn.
Real talk. And then
That's wild.
they'd give you some band to say don't drink, but motherfuckers was drinking.
There's no age for cocaine either,
Real
right?
talk.
It is Miami.
Man, ecstasy. That was my drug of choice there. Ecstasy.
Yeah.
Like I smoke weed crazy, but like when I go partying and chilling,
Yeah.
X.
Ecstasy is good for a
Part
party.
that X for real.
Yeah. It's been a minute, but yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that shit no more,
Yeah,
man. I'm
no,
done.
fuck that.
I'm done with that shit.
Yeah, you hit a
man.
certain point and it's like, nah, I'm good.
I'm a grown man, man.
I'm a grown man, man. At this point, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, shit, I think we covered a lot. Anything else you need to say to the people, man? What you got coming up, music-wise?
We got November 13th. It's gonna be my birthday. We dropping Johnny Armani Run It Up, the video, music video. Shout out Tropics from Toronto, the main event. Shout out Val Coles. He shot the video, directed by me. Basically trying to, like, in this joint, I'm basically trying to bring like some women empowerment women empowerment into the video. Cause you know how like most videos, like the women will be the tag along.
Yeah.
And like the guy would be in a car flexing and or stuff like that. To where this one is like she driving the car. I don't drive the car. She picking me up. I ain't picking her up.
Yeah, I saw a little preview. Like, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they're like, oh, I like that. It's cool. It's different. So I'm like, I don't know. That was just my insight. Growing up with mostly women. That's kind of how I always felt. But besides that, I got Johnny Armani, the album, or the self-titled album. I'm dropping that in 2021. And in the meantime, I want to do for Thanksgiving, we're going to do featuring Armani.
Okay.
Which is going to be a mixtape with all the songs that I'm featured on this year. Got some
up.
joints from Calgary, from Young Craze out in Calgary. Got a couple joints from Buffalo. I got a joint that's coming out with my guy from Oklahoma City. Shout out T.O.P., the only poet. Yeah, that's it, man. Just work.
Hey, shit, that's what's up, man. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you around doing some more shit. I'm looking forward to the releases and the Run It Up video.
Oh yeah. Special guest on the pop-up show too, man. The Joker in the pop-up show. I'm gonna be special guest on November 12th.
Boom, pay attention to that. And you could follow him Instagram, wherever not Twitter though, apparently. Fuck Twitter.
Yeah, Johnny Armani.
Johnny Armani on
or
Instagram.
the real Johnny Armani on Instagram.
Okay. That's what's up. Well, appreciate you coming through, man. And it's been a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing more of what you do now that you're permanently in Canada. So
that's a fact, man.
Welcome and thanks again, my man. I appreciate you.
About to take a plane to another plane, to another plane, to another plane, bumping Baka not nice while I'm trapping in the rain.